What is going on, guys? It is Friday night, and we only have one NHL game, but we have a showdown slate, and this is a puck drop showdown edition. Be on the lookout for some more of these, especially on these days with one slate. I'm going to talk a little bit about showdown strategy today. If you are new to NHL DFS Showdown, I will preview the Blue Jackets and the Blackhawks as well. But if you're a new subscriber, a new listener, hit that like button below. It is greatly appreciated. As we go through our data, we still have 60-70% of you that love our content and are listening, which is great, but are not subscribers. So hit that button. Super helpful for us as we continue forward. But let's get into the slate. I will have my core plays out in our Discord channel for this slate. And this slate has a ton of value, but the bad part is you have all this value and not really a lot to pay up for. So that's kind of where it feels a little bit backwards. Normally I'd like to have a lot of value on a slate that I have a lot that I really like. So 5.5 over under, which is relatively low. I will just say a disclaimer in terms of goalies. We'll get to that. Actually, I'll wait till we get to the lineup builder, but Columbus is slight favorite, -130. So it's basically a pick 'em here. Columbus is without, obviously they traded away Dubois, and now they're still waiting for the arrival of Laine. Probably won't be until into February. So, so let's go over the slate, and it's kind of like nicely indicated on here now on DK if they are out, which is nice. Let's start on the favored side. KORPISALO at 10,400, I think will be a really popular selection for most people. Like I mentioned before, it just in my sample size of cash game optimal builds in Showdown, if the total is less than 6.5, I'm almost always playing the favored goalie. Now you might want to take a little bit of hesitation, like on this case where it's a slight road goalie. So there's a little bit more obviously risk involved being on the road. But I do think goalies are always going to present the highest floor and likely the highest ceiling, at least for the winning goalkeeper. And I think in this game, you could see a decent amount of shot volume and not really a lot of great shot volume. If I go back to my Bovada screen here, this is one thing that I like to check is I'll go down here to the bottom and see that both of the goalies are projected for 28.5 saves. Now I like that. Now, if you get a matchup where there's somebody at like 23, 24.5, I think there's a lot more risk in that, because if they give up 1 or 2 goals, it's going to be really hard to pay off their price tag without many save opportunities. So KORPISALO likely a lock in my lineup. Then it gets into Columbus, which as a whole has been really inconsistent. Cam Atkinson's prices dropped so low, 7,200. I think he had a goal in the last game, on against Florida on the 26th. But other than that, like, he's been really not that great. And the concerning part about Cam Atkinson here is the shot volume. Like, he's consistently 3 to 4 shots a game. We're seeing some games where he is just completely disappearing. Do I still think he has massive upside and at 7,200 can be a great play? Absolutely. And Columbus also always used to kind of hang their hats on these defensemen that play a ton, which they still do, but they're just not producing, right? 27, 26, 27 minutes on ice. And you're seeing nothing from Seth Jones. Obviously, they've struggled to score and be on the score sheet, the defensemen have been, but normally you would see like a block bonus or 3 to 4 shots. So Seth Jones, his form is not great. Werenski's showing a little bit more of life at 6,800. He's been at least shooting the puck more and had a block bonus in one of those games. He's going to see immense ice time as well. So I think if I need a savings, I'm fine with going down to Werenski. But I do think that both of them have been very underwhelming this season. Bjorkstrand at 7,600 is also fine, but again, very goal or assist dependent. I'm just going to bring up kind of the lines on my phone here as I'm going through it, rather than sharing the screen with you on that, just because I want to be able to continue to kind of go through the DraftKings screen. But just in general, if you're looking to correlate here, like Cam Atkinson now is on the third line with Boone Jenner, and Boone Jenner is somebody that I typically like to target in DFS because he puts up shots on goal and block shots. He's not doing that either. So they're just have not been a DFS friendly team like they have been in the past. Now, one guy who has been very DFS friendly lately is TEXIER. I think he did put up a stinker, or well, 5.6 in the last game. Hasn't been extremely consistent, but has 4 goals on the season and does get in front of the net. So I like him at 6,200. So all these guys here, like Seth Jones, all the way down to TEXIER, even Foligno, and Foligno is actually on the top line now. And actually, I really like him too for his price tag. Normally, look at that time on ice he's playing. He has good goal and assist equity. Now he is skating with Bjorkstrand and TEXIER, so that is definitely a fine pairing there. Then you get down to Max Domi, who came over from Montreal, who showed up with a goal and 5 shots on goal last game, has been basically MIA all season. And his line is going to be Liam Fody, who's, I believe, mid-price, and same with, I think it's Grigorenko. So I think there's just a lot of unknowns here, but also a lot of potential value here. So there is a lot of nice value on this team. Rose Lovic, I think is how I pronounce his name, 2K, played in his first game with them last time, and he's only 2,000, so I think you can definitely get away with playing him. Grigorenko, like I said, 2,000 is going to be on the second line. Liam Fody, I think it's also still 2,000. Maybe he got a slight bump. Let me see, where's Fody at? Yeah, I mean, he's 2K too. So, I mean, you have all these guys min-price that are viable to play, and even Gavrikov, again, probably pronounced his name wrong, he is on the second D pairing as well, and he's seen 18 to 20 minutes ice time, and he's 2K. So like, you don't need all these guys, but so I think that's why, to me in this slate, I'm gonna really probably go double goalie, just because it's gonna be easy to get up to there, and I don't love the options below that. So Chicago, Patrick Kane has been average, I would say, this year. Similar to himself, he has immense upside. Obviously, I think on this slate, because there's so much value, you actually don't fade him, even though he's an underdog. And then I think you can definitely consider Lankinen as well at 11,400. So I think if you theoretically plug in, let's say let's just say you take Korpisalo at captain because he's cheapest. And let's go to captain, Korpisalo, and you do something like this. Like, it's not even out of the question, because if you go 2K, you can get one more decent guy, or you go 1-2K, you still have a lot more room left. But let's get to the Chicago side. DeBrincat is still out, and Patrick Kane obviously is our number one target here. And on their lines, Patrick Kane is going to be skating with Janmark and Suter. Suter, we know, is obviously one of their top prospects at 8,000, so you can definitely pair him up. Kubalak is one of their players who loves to shoot the puck, Dylan Strome, and then he is also paired up with Kurashev right here at 4,600. So all those guys are viable. I don't like any of the defensemen, honestly, for besides Connor Murphy for Chicago. Connor Murphy does everything. He blocks shots. He puts shots on goal. He's on the ice the most out of anybody. Duncan Keith is kind of like just taking a step back, and because he should, he's not that good anymore. And then Kelvin DeHaan is very, like, you want the block bonus from him. Zadorov, again, not playing that many minutes on ice. So, I mean, just DFS grossness, in my opinion. If you want to completely punt for Chicago, Bodine is on the third line, actually listed as a defender, but playing with Soderberg and Shaw. Hagel is on the fourth line. Koivu, that's on Columbus. He's on the fourth line. Kampf is on the fourth line. So not really. Soderberg is on the third line, but 4K seems a little bit expensive. I'd rather go up to Kurashev. They're at 4,600. So again, I think this is a slate where you pay both goalies in cash and Patrick Kane probably, and then figure out either one or two min-price punts, and then see who your last favorite guy to plug in there. So thanks for listening. Be on the lookout for a puck drop tomorrow, and maybe even a showdown edition for that first slate. But again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and we will see you